Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be providing you with the information to prepare for your advanced field practicum. After watching the video, if you have any additional questions, please email us at cswfield@osu.edu. Our program is accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. The Council recognizes that classroom and field are of equal importance within the curriculum, and that each contribute to the development of competencies of professional practice. You're preparing for your ASAP field placement or your advanced field practicum. The advanced placement is designed to permit students to achieve greater autonomy and to maximize skill development in the integration of theory and practice. In the advanced placement, there's greater emphasis on the student's concentration within micro or macro practice. Advanced micropractice. Micropractice focuses on the interventions with individuals, groups, couples, and families. In micropractice, you develop an understanding of human behavior and psychopathology, interpersonal relationships and family dynamics, mental health disorders, chemical dependency, human diversity, and consequences of illness and injury. In micropractice, you'll get experience with interventions including assessment, diagnosis, crisis intervention, and brief and long-term psychotherapies. Advanced macropractice. Macropractice focuses on competency in social work administration with government bodies, private social welfare organizations, and or communities. In macropractice, students learn to develop policy, complete legislative advocacy, design and evaluate programs, engage in community organizing, and grant writing. Advanced macropractice. In macropractice, students focus on social work administration with government bodies, private social welfare organizations, and or communities. Students learn to develop policies, engage in legislative advocacy, design and evaluate programs, engage in community organizing, and experience grant writing. Full-time ASAP field schedule and requirements. Full-time students will be in field autumn and spring semesters. Each semester, you'll be in field 336 hours, and this will average to approximately 24 hours a week. Most students do 3 full days at placement. Dates for field follow the semester, but students can attend during breaks and holidays if they choose. Part-time ASAP students follow a little bit of a different schedule. Part-time ASAP students complete field over summer, autumn, and spring semesters. They'll complete a total of 224 hours per semester, averaging to about 16 hours a week. Most part-time ASAP students do 2 full days at placement each semester. And again, field dates follow the semester, but students have the option to attend during breaks and holidays. The ASAP field schedule and requirements. All ASAP students will do a total of 672 hours. In field, you'll need to have a minimum of consistent 4-hour blocks of time and complete 12 to 24 hours per week with an absolute minimum of 12 hours a week. Field placements are completed during 2 to 3 work days during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You should review hours policy regarding holidays, breaks, and university closings in the website links we'll share later in the presentation. One important note, you must register for field. It's not automatic. For Social Work 7189, you will register for the Columbus section with Katie Klakus and Anna Stewart listed as the instructor. The field placement process. You should have received information regarding your field placement process in your OSU email. If you have not received this information, please contact cswfield@osu.edu as soon as possible. We tell students to check your OSU email regularly and follow up with appropriate college staff. All communication regarding your field placement from field office staff or agencies will come to your OSU email. Students completing their placement outside of Ohio can refer to our website link below for out-of-state students, and you'll also receive information about who you'll be working with for your field placement. Students may apply to complete an employment-based placement. This is when you'd like to complete your placement with your current employer. The agency must be an appropriate social service agency and have completed the OSU College of Social Work agency affiliation process. You have to have worked at your agency a minimum of 90 days prior to starting your placement. There are a few keys to approval of your employment-based placement. Your placement and job must be in separate departments with separate supervisors and have a separate job description. You'll apply for an employment-based placement through a form in the field database. Please note that the form can be self-selected from the database once you log in and go to your forms page and select Add Form. If you are matched with an agency, you'll receive a field placement referral from the field office to your OSU email. Once you receive that email, please immediately contact the agency to arrange your pre-placement interview. If you do not immediately contact them, you could risk losing the opportunity. Once you receive a referral, it's a commitment that the student will interview with the agency. No placement is considered final until both the student and agency have interviewed and have confirmed acceptance. I want to review a few things to consider for your pre-placement interview. Please view this as a professional interview. Dress appropriately and take an updated copy of your resume. Prior to your interview, take the time to learn as much as you can about the agency. Check out their website, their agency page in our database, and be prepared to answer questions about the agency. Reach out to Career Services for interviewing skills and tips. Prepare to ask questions and consider questions you may be asked and prepare answers. Some other important things to discuss and consider would be your schedule, who would be your assigned supervisor, what would be your learning opportunities, what program and department would you be assigned, and then after the interview, what are the follow-up or next steps, and do they have any pre-placement requirements you would need to complete? You'll see on this slide some examples of what not to wear to your interview. You'll note that most of this dress is casual and not appropriate for an interview. This slide gives some examples of what is appropriate to wear to an interview. We encourage students to dress business professional for their interview. Once you're accepted at an agency, you can follow up regarding dress code requirements. After the interview, you'll want to make sure that you do some follow-up. Every agency handles this a little bit different, so make sure that you discuss it at your interview. If you are not offered the placement at the time of your interview, make sure that you follow up after the interview to see if they would like to offer you a placement. If you're accepted and offered a placement, refer back to your initial referral email for steps to confirm. If you're not accepted, request feedback from the agency as to what you could have done differently. And also follow up with your field placement coordinator regarding an alternative referral. Agencies have different placement prerequisites. They may require you to complete a health screening, a drug screen, show proof of a vehicle, ensure that you have daytime availability, or complete a criminal background check. We encourage students, if you have anything that may come up on your record, to have a statement prepared to discuss with the agency. You're required to be covered by the university's professional liability insurance while in field. You have a field fee that's automatically added each semester you're in field. One thing that's really important is that you cannot have client contact until you're covered by the university's liability insurance, which is the first day of the semester that you're enrolled in field. Social work trainee license. This only applies to students that do not currently have an LSW and are completing a placement in a state with an equivalent. If you do not have an LSW, then you'll need to apply for the social work trainee license. There's a link below for the Ohio Counselor, Social Worker, and Marriage and Family Therapist Board website with instructions on this application. If you're residing outside of Ohio, the field office can help determine if there's a SWT equivalent in your state. Preparing for field. It's really important to do a self-inventory. There's some questions below to ask yourself, think about, and maybe even journal. What are the areas that you anticipate will be a struggle for you? How do you respond to supervision, both positive and negative? How do you handle work-related conflicts? How do you handle stress? How will you add placement to your already busy life? Thinking about all these questions, we encourage students to really commit to the concept of self-care. Develop and use personal and professional support systems. Build downtime and fun activities into your schedule, and be willing to ask for help and communicate your needs. There's some additional information that's really helpful to review before you start your field placement. All of it is found on the Field Education tab of our website. You'll see a screenshot below for csw.osu.edu. On this website, there's a Field Education tab that will house all of these materials. You'll want to review the field manual, the field calendar, and the field code of conduct. You'll also want to review human rights activities, which has information about human rights activities as well as opportunities. And you'll also want to review some instructional videos about how to complete field forms. This goes over completing your learning agreement, supervision log, and timesheet in our field database. There are many people who you will have contact with during the course of your placement. We're going to go over some of these to help you understand everyone's role and responsibility. You'll have a field placement coordinator that's a College of Social Work staff employee. This coordinator's responsibility is to match you with potential agencies and guide you through the placement process. At the agency, there is an education coordinator. This person is responsible for student placement assignments and may be the person that communicates with you regarding your pre-placement interview. Once you're in placement, you could have a variety of supervision structures. Some students will have a field instructor. This is a social work practitioner who provides direct supervision to students while they're in placement. Some students may also have a task instructor. This is a non-social work professional who provides direct supervision to students on a daily basis. If your task instructor is not a social worker, then you will either have a field instructor or a co-instructor. A co-instructor is a contracted person provided by the college who provides social work supervision in settings without social workers on staff. You may also have a task instructor if you're working with multiple social workers, one who's your task instructor and one who's your field instructor. Once you're in field placement, you'll be connected with a field education coordinator or field liaison. This is the person that's going to assist you and be your main point of contact for you as well as the agency during your placement. You'll also have a faculty advisor and an academic advisor. A faculty advisor may assist you in planning your overall course of study and help you clarify your career goals. Your academic advisor is going to work with you specifically on your course plan and providing communication from the college. Advanced placement progression. You should expect more passive learning activities during the first few weeks of placement. This could look like shadowing and interviewing various employees, reviewing policy manuals, case files, and documentation, visiting with partner agency, or attending agency employee orientations and trainings. Typically, students in placement follow a learning progression. They begin by observing tasks and move to participating in tasks. From this, they move to performing tasks with supervision and then ultimately performing tasks independently. Keep in mind that depending on your placement setting, you could move through these different stages in a variety of ways and time periods. We communicate supervision expectations with both students and agencies. Students should expect a minimum of 1 hour of formal supervision each week. Supervisors may use a variety of teaching methods to help you learn. This could include student activity logs or journals, shadowing and direct observation, audio videotaping, process recordings, discussion and case presentations, and documentation review. We like to share some tips on maximizing supervision because we know it's so important. Supervision should be scheduled consistently and made a priority. Students should prepare for supervision with issues and questions for discussion. We encourage students to create an agenda for supervision. Try to avoid becoming defensive when receiving critical feedback, as this will ultimately help you grow as a practitioner. Request specific behavioral information about your performance and initiate discussion on strategies to improve your performance. Refer back to your learning agreement activities to help guide these discussions. Maximizing the field experience. Treat your placement like a job. Take advantage of all opportunities. Be flexible and open-minded. Take initiative, but remain open to guidance and feedback. Use this as an opportunity to start developing your professional network. Always keep up on your paperwork and placement requirements. Access supports at the college when needed. Communication is key. We always tell students, we don't know what you need unless you let us know. Maintain a positive relationship with the field instructor. Early in your placement, have a discussion about what their expectations are, what their work style is, what their teaching style is, and share about how you learn best. And always remember that field instructors are human and can have bad days as well. We're aware that sometimes issues arise at placement. Some potential student concerns that often come up are feeling like students don't have enough to do, or possibly they have too many responsibilities too quickly. Concerns with not receiving enough or adequate supervision, safety concerns, exposure to agency politics or work culture, personal feelings that are awakened by client situations, and also experiencing secondary trauma. The most important thing for students to know is that they have to communicate when these issues arise. We always encourage students to use the support of their field instructors as well as their field liaisons. To help students through this process and agencies, we've adopted the problem-solving phases. The graphic here shows the problem-solving phases in field education that we've adopted in our program. It gives us step-by-step as to how problems should be addressed in field. Once reviewing this, if you have any questions, talk about it with your field instructor as well as your field liaison. You can access the problem-solving phases in field education on our website at the link below.